Our time back visiting the States was a nice break from our journey down the Pan American Highway.
I miss you mostly all the time.
After returning the truck back to 4-wheel campers, we did what we originally came back to do: celebrate Marlene's parents' 50th anniversary on a cruise ship before hopping on a flight and head back south.
Days are passing faster.
Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary to you.
So many things have changed around since
Stella Rosa. Oh, it's pink champagne. Matches these.
ever since you've gone away. So now I've got a tough.
After getting our van out of storage in Cancun, our first order of business was to swap out our tires for a bigger size to increase our load capacity. It has been a concern of mine in the back of my head for some time. As always, we opted for the trusty BF Goodrich all-terrain KO2s. We also discovered that sitting in storage for these last 3 hot and humid months was not kind to our fridge, as a thermistor had failed and needed to be replaced. So before we continue south back to Central America, we first have to work on some projects. Knowing that getting packages shipped to Mexico was far easier and simpler than any place south of here, so we decided to stick around for a little bit. To do that, we chose to make our way across the peninsula and spend some time near the Gulf Coast.
So now I've got a toughen up. I whisper to the mirror, remember how it felt before. I never wanted to get in. I never
A lot of people have told us how much they love the city of Merida, so our search landed us in a waterfront Airbnb just outside of town in the little seaside port village of Progreso. For not much more than the cost of staying at a campground, we didn't have to suffer in the heat and suffocating humidity, and we had a swimming pool to cool off in if we wanted to go outside. Progreso and the nearby pueblo of Chicxulub is about 10 miles north of Merida on the Gulf of Mexico coast. Roughly 66 million years ago, an asteroid estimated between 10 to 15 kilometers in diameter slammed into Earth at precisely this location. It is widely believed that this was the impact that caused the mass extinction of dinosaurs. The crater spans roughly 200 kilometers in diameter and is the main reason why this region has so many of the Yucatan's famous cenotes, or water-filled sinkholes that attract so many tourists from around the world. And for Marlene, this place especially also happens to be birdwatcher's heaven. Just a couple minutes drive from us are numerous estuaries where a flamboyance of flamingos call their home. Naturally, the wildlife isn't limited to just flamingos. Egrets, spoonbills, stilts, ibises are all abundant and thrive in this estuary.
Okay, there's a lesser and a greater, and I can't tell the difference unless they're side by side.
At the beach, just steps away from our doorstep, brown pelicans, black vultures, magnificent frigate birds glide along the surf and circle above. Our iguana friend hangs at the top of the wall next to the pool each day, soaking up the sun. At least one of us is very interested. Just offshore from us, the world's longest pier stretches 4 miles out into the Campeche Bank. This continental shelf is much too shallow for large ships to sail close, so in order for cruise ships and container ships to dock, the Progreso Pier was built. We didn't leave Progreso much during our stay, but when we did, we made it worth our while. We learned that we were just a half-hour drive from seeing the annular eclipse in its full glory. So we timed it just right and made the drive west for the experience. It wasn't the totality we experienced in 2017, or the upcoming one next month that we will unfortunately miss, but the experience was still surreal. During the fullest moments, all of the butterflies rested in the shade as if the sun was setting. Unlike an eclipse with totality, this annular version doesn't cover the sun completely, so a circular ring was still visible. It didn't get nearly as dark, but still a strange feeling nonetheless. The highlight of our stay in the Yucatan has to be Dia de los Muertos. Around here, they famously celebrate the Mayan version of this day, called Hanalpachan. Unlike Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, which has its origins in Catholicism, Hanalpachan is traditionally Mayan, and it translates to Food of the Souls. Only in states within the Yucatan Peninsula celebrate Hanalpachan, as the Mayan culture roots are the deepest here in all of Mexico. In the pre-Hispanic days of Mayan civilization, Hanalpachan was not celebrated on any specific date. However, it was later synchronized upon the arrival of the Europeans to coincide with the events of Dia de los Muertos. On November 1st, the celebration remembers children who have passed, while the second day, this sees adults in the family are the focus. Here in Merida, the events are collectively called El Festival de las Ánimas, or Festival of the Souls. We made our way through many tables set up along the streets by locals who laid out traditional Mayan dishes as offerings for family members visiting from the other side.
Un aplauso fuerte para todas las damitas. Con toditita mi alma. mi mejilla.
At the heart of this festival is an event called Paseo de las Animas, or Parade of the Souls, beginning at Merida's General Cemetery. Inadvertently, we found our way to the staging area of the parade while hundreds of locals were getting ready. Alright, so this is the General Cemetery in the town of Merida. We're here. Somehow we meander our way through the cemetery during probably the biggest event.
Yeah.
It's called Festival de las Animas.
Yeah.
We were trying to find just things to see in this cemetery, and then we somehow meander our way to the start of the parade, where all the people that are in the parade happen to be right here, and it doesn't start for another probably 45 minutes, and they're all just kind of standing here getting ready.
Okay.
So we're getting a bit of a behind-the-scenes look.
It's called Hanal Pixan.
Okay. Day of the Dead Merida Parade, officially called Paseo de las Animas.
That's the main event during Hanal Pixan.
Cool. All right, Marlene's got some precious gems to share with us.
Okay, so in the Yucatan Peninsula, the Mayan believe in Pishan, which meaning soul, is what forms human life. And they say once the body dies, the soul remains so that the Pishanis, and the living are always connected on some level. So on certain holidays like this one, the soul can fully cross back Earthside for this holiday. So we're at the right place for that moment.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
So
This is where they would be. That's why there's some open graves.
Yeah, so this is the Mayan Night of the Souls, where families honor their loved ones who have passed. They set up altars filled with their favorite food and symbolic items to help guide the deceased home. Hanal Pishan is meant to continue the link between the dead and the living. So the holiday's origin dates back to the Aztec celebration of the goddess, queen of the underworld.
Well, there's action in the parade.
Oh,
Action in the parade.
oh boy, they're going in a different way than I thought.
Yeah.
Entre los mayas de Yucatán, la celebración del Día de Muertos, o Hanal Pishan, Domina de Almas, continúa presente con gran arraigo, conservando la esencia de la cosmogonía del pueblo maya, de creer que hay vida después de la muerte. Del 31 de octubre al 30 de noviembre. Por esta razón se barre, limpia y engalana la casa para recibirlos de su viaje. Las tumbas se limpian, se pintan y se arreglan.
Our time in Mexico is finally coming to an end. After wrapping up all of our projects, we packed up and started heading back towards the border of Belize.
You remember how to do this, Ian?
Not really.
Are you new to van life? Hold on. You guys ready? Yeah. What are you guys gonna miss about this place?
The air conditioning.
The animals and the air conditioning.
Swimming pool? They don't care about swimming pool?
I'm gonna miss the bird watching at the beach.
Well, we'll be bird watching at the beach still.
Yeah, there will be.
On the way, we stopped to spend some time with friends traveling, also making their way south. YOLO Family Vans is a family of 4 from Canada. We first met them while we were both in Europe during the start of the COVID pandemic. For that reason, we didn't spend a lot of time together, but here in Mexico, we got to remedy that. They have been exploring cenotes in the area, and as we drove across the peninsula, we decided to join them for a couple of days. Alright, so we're at one of the cenotes near the town of Homun, and we spent the night here last night, right by their main cenote. This place has 3 cenotes. This is the main one. So we paid yesterday. This is actually one of the cheaper ones. This is only 60 pesos a person. So we stayed the night, which included overnight camping, which is cool. And we're swimming again this morning. But since we're here, second day, they're charging us for second night. Or not second night, but second day of swimming, which is fine. So we ended up paying 120 pesos per person still. And that's still really affordable compared to how much these other places are. I'll show you guys what it looks like.
Just follow the music. Follow the music. Just waiting for the hummingbird. Sitting peacefully at one
Wow, you guys all fit in here. You can fit even more people. So cool.
waiting for the hummingbirds to fly by. Was such a beautiful smile. She gives me real love all the time. Gives me real love all the time. Gives me real love all the time. Gives me
Good boy.
Forget about those people try to bring you down. Just follow the music. Poison in talk. Let them go now. Follow the music. Forget about those people.
On the next episode, we endure a few days of intense heat to make our way across Belize and get back into the highlands to spend a few days in the cool temperatures of our favorite colonial town in Guatemala.
She's waiting for the hummingbirds to